Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Tangent in the Hangar, where we sometimes talk about GBO2 and Tangent a lot.
Hey, at least
today,
we're being honest this time.
today I'm
Oh my
joined
god.
by Gustav the 13th
Yep.
and Gaming Emblem.
How's it going?
So guys, how was your past week? Let the tangents begin.
It has been very tangenty, except mostly it's just been covered in water. Because it's been raining all day.
And heat.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
So yeah,
how's
we pretty much had like flash floods and shit all over and like rolling storms. But besides that, we looked out here. Our basement didn't get like, or at least I should say our storage area didn't get like overrun like it did last time. So other places not so lucky. I think 94 finally got drained in our area. But besides that, just been doing a lot of near replicant, trying to train up for clan matches and stuff. Coming this Saturday. We'll be talking more about that later. What about you guys?
My week has been very tangentable. And I'm not going anywhere with that, just bad puns. But I've just been kind of like trying not to melt in my apartment or anything else. Had a lot of issues with all the heat and whatnot. So I was just off and living in front of my air conditioner and stuff like that. But it finally cooled down. Thank goodness. That was ridiculous. So now I'm just getting back to the grind. Yesterday was the first stream back since the whole big heat wave happened.
yeah,
And
like
it was
were
rough,
you
man.
were you able to even just have any electronics on pretty much at all without just making it unbearable? Or just being in a
Yeah, I
room
mean, pretty much
entirely?
if I'd left my little like AC cone of cold, it is just a world of misery. And
Yeah,
like I forget trying to sleep, man. It was the worst.
yeah, like like we have a place, where I went on vacation. We've been, where we aren't down there all the time. Sometimes,
Mhm.
things break, or they decide to steal the AC unit, and sometimes that happens, right? Um, and that's how you stop a train. You steal it.
Steal the AC?
Oh
Like,
my
shut
gosh!
up.
But yeah, they yeah,
Train.
for real though. One of the times that like my grandpa put like a steel cage around it, welded it all together, and cemented it into the ground so that it was like off the ground by like a good 4 foot, and then cemented under the ground though, so like 2 foot down. There was a giant cement block, and we found out they stole it again, and there was just a giant hole there in the ground. And I was like, what kind of equipment would they have had to like bring to do this? Also, how did nobody like even like what? But yeah. So that was the thing. But yeah, either way though, we've gotten down there and there's been no AC at all, and you're you're kind
Human
of
ingenuity is
back.
always impressive.
Yeah. So even though it's right there next to the water, it's still back behind a ton of trees. So like there's no wind that's getting there at all. Like it just going into that place is just a heat box, and that's it. So definitely know the feel.
I have fallen.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Yeah, and
camera.
it wouldn't
Gustav's
be
camera
bad
disappeared.
if we believed in AC, but that's a lost concept here.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what was this?
Yeah, on hot days when I was in California there on the beach, because they only had heaters. That was it. Oh, Gustav's
Oh,
hand.
damn.
Oh, oh,
Oh no,
There we go.
Gustav.
there we go.
I'm back.
But but yeah, where they only had or they didn't have an AC, they only had heaters. Like on the days where you couldn't just open the window and cool off everything, it was pretty bad. But I mean, there it only got 80 at worst at that point. Like these heat waves are crazy though.
Yeah, they ain't fucking around.
But yeah, glad to hear you made it through it though. Like everybody's had crazy
Yeah.
weather here recently.
It was pretty nuts.
Like around here, I'm on top of a hill, but we've had some. Well, first we had some heat problems, you know, but we have AC. And then
Mhm.
we just had storms rolling in now, so it's pretty much been raining, pouring all day. I'm flooded in. I couldn't get out if I wanted to. But I live way
Right.
up on a hill, so luckily, if I ever say the house is flooded, then it's gotten really bad. Like that is shit's really hit the fan. If I'm complaining about flooding here inside the house anyway. But yeah, I might not be able to make it out of my driveway. That's normally as bad as it gets. But yeah, was that pretty much your week?
Yeah, pretty much. Still playing the same old games.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how was have you done any Phantasy Star with that going on?
Yeah, I played some while I was hanging out at my apartment, trying not to die horribly. Nothing like too crazy.
Yeah,
Just grinding.
the reason why I bring that up is that's pretty much what I've been putting a lot of my extra time into, and got Ranger to 20. Still can't play Gunner effectively because no extra, subclass tree thing. Even though they did give out a respec, I'm tempted to use that respec they gave out. I don't know if you got all your maintenance stuff, but did you get all their all like the items and stuff? Like there's a lot of rare item boost that you can use right now. But I'm getting rare drops pretty good, but like I thought about popping one of those 25%. When the
Right.
mag's up, you can get like 50 to 60% rare drop rate or something like that now. So
Yeah, I always try to make sure my mag is fed whenever I'm getting ready to do some grinding.
but yeah, overall the gigantics or whatever they're actually calling those, um they're actually pretty cool little fights. But have you done much of the
Yeah,
farming?
it's nice whenever everyone's not being like rage mode engage. It's always pretty cool at that point.
Oh yeah, I went in and I was like, okay, so you got to focus the back piece on this one enemy. Time to target that because I'm the ranger. And they're like, who's the ranger that sucks? And I'm like, oh, that would be me. My bad. It was just straight up like only blight the foot and the chest when it gets stunned, and that's it. I'm like, oh, okay, I got you. My bad, dude. My bad.
Only the pinky toe.
Yeah, but like, yeah, it is pointless to do the back at that point because the point is, you want as much damage as possible, and not everybody knows how to easily get up high enough to do anything, and not everybody's range. So makes sense. But yeah, overall that's pretty much mostly what I've been doing is farming a lot of that. Finally today started my new ship 1 character, what I'm calling hard mode speed run or something. I don't know, but like trying to get to essentially able to do everything, which I guess would be now getting to level 20. But I mean, by that point, it's just grind more. Is when you get about to 15 or whatever, 15 to 16 is the answer. Just grind more, do urgent quests whenever they're up, kind of thing. So
Pretty much.
once I get to that point, I'm probably gonna stop the like video that I'm gonna try to make off of it. But for the most part, I'm just really curious, how far you can go till the wall hits without having dailies or weeklies or, well, now I found out resources. And, we talked about it before this, but the short version is everything just about is account wide, except for all your resources that you get on one account, unless they are, which if they are somehow account wide, please, I'll take it at this point. If my money and my resources can transfer whenever I need them to, cool, then we're good. But right now, just I farmed the ore that you get to upgrade your weapons, and I just went back and checked. Now I could be wrong. I'm going to try again tomorrow morning and see if everything resets at reset rather than a 24-hour thing, because I think I went down there yesterday. But again, So just to double check, I'm going to repeat the experiment. And I really think literally the ore and the trees, the fruit, anything is just account wide. And that's pretty much my biggest problem with the game. Otherwise, other than that, I wish there was a trade option. Some way that you can trade with people. Free. That
Just
is.
buy premium.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Free.
Oh,
free.
yeah.
Like once a month. Give us once a month in that game. Like
Yeah, I think it's silly you can't trade.
one day out of
You know, you
a
can
month.
also get once a month some money. Let's go.
Yeah, right.
Hey.
But it's just one day that everybody can just saturate the market with random things.
Oh god.
I think that would be.
I think that's
Chaos.
I think that's one of the things that I wish they hadn't have stapled the game onto PSO2 for, because like on one hand, it's like a cop out for them, but it can also be like, oh well, you know, we don't want to diminish the old players, but at the same time, like it's a different game. I wish it had just been Phantasy Star Online 3, but because they add a little new Genesis and keep it PSO2, they can like semi get away with like, oh, we're gonna keep all the same like bad old systems.
Well, what about the
Like,
good old
you know,
systems? The subclass trees, the server
they could bring the good
dailies.
stuff
Technically,
over,
it's a new
but
game.
Yeah.
So we're trying
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah, I know. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have an excuse both ways
Yeah,
in that case.
yeah,
they're trying to get their cake and eat it too, and sadly they're succeeding right now. But I don't know. I just wish they would, at least bring back the subclass trees and a couple of things that they had in the first one or in the base game.
we're trying to see if we can make more money off of skill trees.
Yeah. But the thing is, that it's like the people who bought like 20 characters. There's got to be somebody who's got 30 character slots taken up, right?
For sure.
And
Yeah.
they get nothing for that now. But anyway, so there was that. I've been playing more League. Been checking out Outriders again. I haven't done it on a stream yet, but I figured I'd check it out because they did 100% drop rate bonus for legendaries and stuff. So, because people were complaining about not getting enough legendaries, and so check that out. You definitely get more. Instead of about one per thing I do, I get about 3 or 4. So that's kind of nice. They got rid of
Need to
the
loot.
bug with the armor, so you're tanky again. So that means literally my build's even more glass cannon than what it originally was now. Let's see. Been doing Mech Warrior 5 has been the biggest thing I've been streaming here the past this past week. And yeah, pretty cool. I'm a fan. I like it. I don't know when I feel like I'm probably going to be like, okay, well, I've played it and I'm done. When I get through everything and I've tried everything, then I might do some modding with it. It's cool that there's a lot of mods out there that you can play around with to get either new weapons, new things, or even just allow you to do stuff that should be in the base game. Because in every other Mech Warrior, if you have a laser socket that you can put a weapon in, you could put in a bigger version of that weapon. You could, instead of having like a small and then putting only smalls in it, which is how the game's set up, you could put a medium there, as long as you had the weight and the ability to run that medium laser. But because some of these technically would be held by the mech rather than, so I don't know. It's a little weird that they don't let you do that in this one, but yeah, that was a weird change. But there's a mod out there for it, and you can just get that set up in 2 seconds. I know Korraz, he would hop in and he's changed a couple of my things around. So, and
Korraz
it's cool
is
that,
modding his shit to death. Oh my
Yeah.
god, every time someone talks to him about it, it's just all mods.
yeah. Yeah, he hopped in and was like, so I got 2 more mods, and I'm like, wait, so what do these do now? But yeah, it's cool that you can actually just mod it though to exactly what you want. It's cool that there's a nice modding community behind it, because it is disappointing when there's like, yeah, we got mods, but nobody's doing anything with it. So,
Yeah, you definitely have to have the community, right?
but yeah, overall though, pretty fun so far. Fun with friends, of course, happens. But as far as just like I said, solo play, a lot of people are like it's kind of meh, and I'm like, yeah, but it's average. It's just above average or average kind of mech game, what you'd expect. And
Is the are the mods relegated only to solo play, or is it also like available through
Co-op
co-op?
too.
Like if you guys had the same one.
Yeah. So a couple
That's
of them you
like
have to have the same mod, and a lot of them you don't. So Koraz joined into my game, and he was using his mods, and I don't have any mods. So
okay. That's what's up.
yeah, so you can talk it out and stuff. I guess one of my only complaints with it is that it's co-op, as in they join your game, so nobody gets any benefit to their own game if they come play with you. But it would be one of those things, like, as far as streaming goes, it's kind of an okay thing, as far as like playing a game with your community at that point. Or it then kind of gets awkward though if you had like two friends who bought and they want to play and progress their own game, or even if you're playing with somebody else who's streaming and you both wanted to progress your own game at the same time, kind of situation. So kind of awkward that you don't at least get something like maybe your character could level up or anything like that. I think is kind of my other complaint. But um yeah, I feel like after I get to a certain point, it'll be like, okay, I've done everything that exists. I've used the weapons I want to use, and then I'll probably move on. But for now, it's pretty cool. They just came out with DLC. If they keep doing that too, I'll keep checking it back out again. But yeah, that's been pretty much it. So Gundam, tangent time in the hangar.
What?
So we got this new suit, the Efreet Schneid. I almost literally typed Doug Schneid.
Same thing.
So what do we think? It's growing on me is kind of my take on it right now.
Yeah, it seems so. I don't have the suit, so I can't really say too much about it. But it is interesting. I've been seeing some cool highlights and stuff from it.
Yeah, that's pretty much been the thing. Seeing the highlights, and seeing some of the plays. Now, obviously montage reels end up being just the best moments sometimes, but when you see a combo that you're like, oh, I don't know how I would counter that as a support, that's kind of nice. Or when you're receiving that combo. So I guess to go over, since we don't have, I probably should have prepped the screenshots for the skills and stuff. But really, the only skills it has, and I guess Emblem if you have the website, but the biggest underwhelming thing for me is the skills that it has that are notable are melee combo controller 1, so 2 melees, force injector 1, which I dislike, and it's got 1 dodge roll, and that's it. And it's 550 cost. And I mean, just looking at that picture, if you just had to go off of that picture there, I would have guessed 400.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I figured.
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be 550, 600 either.
so my next question was, does it have stealth? And no. And then I was like, okay, well, does it have the stats to at least keep up? Because it's a 3-star suit. What is this? Like, I don't know. I feel like this is a 3-star that should have been a 2-star.
Yeah, it becomes more interesting when we find out where its counterpart is, or at least where the other clan suit is that got added alongside this banner. We'll talk about that more when it gets closer.
Oh, so the clan suit is actually from the same where this thing comes from?
Like the general battle, like the counter that this thing has, it did to the clan suit.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Interesting.
Yeah, the others were saying that's from the anime or game or something too. So it's pretty cool that they pulled that out of there and reanimated it in the video game. Really good look for it. Chat told me that the Semi Striker has been confirmed as a 400 cost suit too.
Yeah.
Yep. I didn't know if we wanted to talk about it now or later, so that's why I wasn't saying anything.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about it more later, but I didn't know that it was its counterpart. But yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, do you have the website
in terms of
pulled up?
that one scene, because it's literally like a scene that they're in.
Ah, okay. But yeah, do you have the website up, Emblem, or are you in the game? Or
I can now. I was at the
Okay.
tail end of a match.
Daly's OP.
Let me see, because it's actually got the suit. I forget if he got like the baseline cost.
Oh, they
or not.
changed it from being like by faction on the wiki to
Yeah,
like
to
by cost, which probably needed to change a long ass time ago.
Yeah, I know. I saw that today when I was trying to figure out. Well, I
That's
guess I'll
like
bring that
some
up when we get to the
legacy
ticket
shit
shop.
from the first game with Jessica. Holy shit.
Yeah. All right, but I've got everything pulled up, so I can go with the stats whenever you're ready.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so like we talked about, it's 550, 600. HP at level 1 is 17,500, 19,000 at level 2. Ballistic defense is 14 and 15. Beam resist is 18 and 21. And melee resist is 28 and 30. Range damage modifier is 10 and 13. Combat or melee modifier is 45 and 49. Its movement speed is 130. Boosting gets 1215 rather, or 215. Ugh, numbers. Its thruster gauge defaults at 65. I kind of feel like it should have been 10 higher, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, right. I agree.
It has a turning speed of 81 on the ground, and that's the only place you can use it. The mission has specialization. It has a special counter. Its melee priority is 3.
That's a big deal.
As far as, yeah, it is. I mean, it better. You're pretty much punching people with that thing. Hold on, train noises.
Bend to win
All right.
punch.
It'll probably let out a little beep here in a second. Part slots are 18 and 20 for the top, 14 and 15 for the middle, and 8 and 9 for the bottom, or long slots, however you want to call it. Looks like it has normal melee modifiers for the combos, so 100% on one, 50% damage on the second hit. But the modifiers on the swings, train. I appreciate trains moving goods or whatever, but man, they suck when you're trying to do a show. So it has higher modifiers. The neutrals deal 100% damage like normal, but the side swings also deal 100% damage. And the downswing is a 80% modifier per hit, and it hits twice. So if you tag with both, you're doing 160% damage. I wonder if they'll end up changing that at some point. Like, I haven't seen too much of the suit, so I wonder how easy it is to actually get in there. But I kind of wonder if they may look into increasing that at some point. It'd be interesting.
I will say the stun loops are definitely real with this suit in general. Like, depending on what kind of kit that you have, if you can actually get your MA off during due to latency or like a roll or whatever, like if it doesn't get you,
does it have maneuver armor?
And
are you
not
talking
only
about
that,
against it?
No, I mean against it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because all of them are technically instant stuns except for the shoddy, but you can also run the bazooka. I don't know who would do that. Some probably will, just because of the range. But the bigger thing is just that the fans, it encompasses a decent amount of space. Some people have been also using them to legit hover over somebody when they knock them over, and then just hit them with everything. So when you hit a raid with that, depending on what it is, you're doing 6k plus if they all connect.
Oh, so it does work.
Yeah,
that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, I was wondering if that.
Now that being said, the example that I saw, they had to get pretty close and crouched. So what I want to see, especially on big-bodied raids, is if you can just be close and standing.
Yeah, could you imagine some of those thick raids?
I mean, you would want to crouch for the more damage, probably too. I mean, I wouldn't mind if you can get it off. Then yeah, not bad.
It just feels too intimate. You just get smacked because you don't have that ability to eat a stun while you're crouched.
Yeah, that's true.
You're still just a general at the end of the day.
the other thing too is the model for this thing is just the Efreet standing up. Like, like the Noct is kind of a bit smaller height wise, and this thing is. I was kind of expecting it to be more Noct size, and this is straight up like, oh, this is just a walking
This is
Efreet.
literally just a DS with like shit
Yeah,
on it.
yeah, this is
Like,
just a different DS.
there's a
Pretty much.
branching like image that has the development lines, and yeah, it just branches off of that. Regular Freet goes to the Kai, and then I forget what actually branches off for the Noct, but it's a different one.
But yeah, I was kind of surprised to see that because of the picture kind of threw me off a little bit.
Oh.
And yeah, but that is so easy to stun. Like, it doesn't have a shield. You just, it has nothing to, like, any extra layers just for it to get in closer. But I will say the combo that got me was shotgun into the normal stun from the just single heat dart, then the they meleeed me. Or wait, no, it was shotgun then melee. They jumped back, heat dart. I think it was melee again. Then it was the fan because I tried to boost, and there was just nowhere I could go. Like the fan of blades was just gonna stun me no matter what. So there was no like any direction I picked, I was gonna be stunned again. So the only hope that I had there was maybe tackle, and so yeah, that was kind of interesting. And I was wondering if those actually had different ready up times, but I mean, from the combos that I was getting hit by, it doesn't seem like it's enough to really affect anything. And then they just came in, knocked me down, and then just smacked me again. It wasn't necessarily enough to finish me, but yeah.
According to the wiki, the heat dirt, as they put it, has a switching time of 0.77 seconds on the single, and the salvo, or the multiple ones, is 2.5 seconds.
Oh, okay. So I probably should have just tackled there. I guess I did boost a little bit, but I mean, that's support life. As soon as you hit the boost button, you're like, oops, it's going to take me an hour to stop.
But on that note, I'll touch on the weapons. So it uses a standard giant bazooka, the same one that you can buy from the DP store right now. It goes over 5 levels. So the switching time is 2 seconds. Fire interval is 7.4 seconds between shots. And it has a stagger value of 80%, just like most standard Zooks. You can also use a shotgun. It looks like the same one that you would see on the Efreet and like the DS and stuff like that. You can't fire it while jumping. You also have your melee, the heat dirt ×2. Base power is 2500. Level 2 goes up to 2625, and that's ×2. So both weapons probably have a similar style hitbox, or however it works with your usual double weapon suits. Touch on the shoulder one, which is a single heat dirt. It's 1400 power at level 1, 1470 at level 2. Already said the ready up time. Range is 200, and it does cause a jamming effect whenever you hit with it. And the stagger value is 20%. And the salvo actually has a so you fire all 8. You have to do it while stationary. The range is further at 300 though.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing about it.
Yeah, doesn't seem bad. And the stagger value is 10% per kunai.
Oh, okay. So what's the stagger value again on the single?
20.
Oh, the Zoc has damage control, doesn't it?
Maybe. I know it has shock dampener. I don't know if it has damage control though. I'd have to look.
Because maybe they didn't hit with the full thing. Because they were trying to stun it yesterday with the entire wave, and then I honestly wish it was just 2 shotguns. If you hit all of them,
yeah, it doesn't have
like,
damage control. It's just dampener.
I would love to see the accumulation of that fan just go up. Like if you you hit with like 5 or 6, you should be stunning like a Joven with damage. I mean, it doesn't have it now at 600, but yeah, be able to break at least damage control 1 with like 6 stars. I think. Like,
We reliably hit with that many though. Or are
well,
they
that's what
closer
I'm
than I
saying.
think they are?
Like 30% would be like, so you literally go in and shotgun and then into another shotgun kind of thing, right? You just shotgun twice if you wanted to. I think that would be really cool. That it essentially has 2 shotguns. I think that would definitely differentiate it and make it, more of its own gimmick rather than you have an AoE stun, which is kind of the gimmick now, that also can do a lot of damage if you hug your opponent. So, I mean, it's got a lot of melee damage. I mean, but the range damage feels very lacking. Like something that I have, resist with, or even just, as a support. Anything that I have a decent defense set or even parts, I just didn't feel like it was doing much to me, like at all.
Right.
And it just felt like it took way too long for it to, finish his plate kind of thing.
I feel you there. That can be a big deal.
I mean, also it could be the thing too. But he's a general, I'm a support, and he shouldn't be really worrying about that. He probably should be worrying about the general next to me that's killing his raid teammate. But yeah,
Like, to be fair, like, because it has so much melee mod, I think people are like, oh, well, if it's a support with low melee defense, it doesn't really matter. It'll practically be neutral, if not maybe slightly higher. I'll just go get him. It's like, nah. Because if it actually does get a shot on you, you're not going to have that much health or anything to deal with it. Like, it's definitely not as bad as a camper, but that's a pretty low bar in terms of defense and health.
Yeah, with the C1, I did 6,000 with the full charge, and then the 3 follow-ups is another like 3k, and then if I have anything else to follow up, transform, shoot, bump, that's another 2 to 3k with the shot into the bump. On the level, which that would be the level 2, which actually has surprisingly decent amount of health at 19,000. I was impressed by how much health they gave it. I didn't think they were going to give it that much health. So that's kind of
you would hope so, just considering where they put it.
Yeah, right.
I'm still a little perplexed, and again, like the idea that the half is at 400. Like, I get that one's definitely like a lot more, I guess, kitted out or like updated compared to the other. Federation's all about like half steps, quite like normal refurbishments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Where I'm assuming this is just supposed to be overtuned as fuck, but like even so, I feel like they probably should have been a bit more equivalent.
Yeah, it was really weird. I mean, I guess the next question is, what do you guys think for competition at that cost? I don't know if my system's on right now, but 550, 600. I guess because I think at 600, like this thing is meh compared to what else exists for generals.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, you got the Dryson, which yes, it does out prioritize it, but I mean, it's
Dryzen's got that length on it.
Yeah, it's still got a pretty versatile toolkit.
It's
there are some situations where, like, if you do a neutral, even with the priority, and even if you hit first, as long as their attack still comes out and they have the reach on you, you'll still get docked by it afterwards anyway. Like, there have been instances of that. Some of it's latency and some of it's just timing. Like, say you have a lower priority, but they get the hit in first. As long as your swing still comes out and was in the animation, there's a good chance that you'll catch them, regardless. So I've had that happen a couple times.
I mean, honestly, I would take out the Grandpa Gundam at this point over that.
Oh, damn.
I'm just saying, like, Grandpa Gundam, you have priority 3, you have
already null.
You have a
if you're using a hammer,
like 22,000 HP base at 600 now. Decent defenses.
Actually, yeah, what was it? Chad yesterday was in the Grandpa, and he was getting hit by like downswings and heavy attacks by the Zaku 3 custom, and he was like, that did like nothing to me.
Yeah, like
he wasn't getting hit for much of anything.
Yeah, it's crazy what they've buffed Grandpa with. But I mean, on
But like
more.
hyper hammer people make them pay.
But I guess this. I don't know. Do you guys think this is more of a frontliney suit? Like, do you think
It
it
seems
could
more like
get in
an
there?
ambush suit.
Yeah.
And to that end, I wish it had smoke at least. Smoker jamming. Because this seems even edgier than a knocked, and seems like a very good ambush suit either against just anything, really. But like more so raids, just because it can melt them pretty quickly. Yeah, ambush and teamwork, right? Because it's got 3 stuns. If you really need to hold someone still for somebody else, like as you're advancing, you can do that too. And especially since the shotgun technically is low impact. If you get it from another angle, you don't really have much risk of like stopping someone from continuing their attack.
Right.
That being said, for the love of God, do not try to fan out your kunai when you're near your friends. Don't do that.
Yeah, there's been a lot of friendly fire. I would say the Zeta could do the same job. Tristan could do the same job, essentially. And even the Gallus J would be the one I would compare it to at 600. Well, actually, maybe not, because that's level 3
The
at that
interesting
point.
thing is that the Zeta can do the same job, but the Zeta both has less priority and has a
Yeah, I
more
forget that.
obstructive downswing on the spear.
It is true.
Because when it does the second slash, it goes way the fuck out over here. And he can just like clothesline people that are trying to follow up if they fuck up the timing.
Tristan's kind of less tankier, so
Tristan also has a hard time trying to avoid the stun loop of this thing, since it has to like either get just a straight up charge shot or a shot into arm gatling to stop whatever it's doing, while also having less priority, I think.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So,
Well, crap.
so the wind up on the downswing, even though it is meaty, like you have to have them on the ground already for that.
Okay, that priority is actually a big deal then, because
The priority is a big deal on a general like that. Like we
Oh, for
talk about
sure.
it all the time on the Mark II. When the O came out, we were like, sweet baby Jesus. Like, on top of it already having an insane amount of melee output and 2 different things that it could switch to very quickly, that priority just put it over the top. And it really hasn't been bumped from its spot on most compositions since. Can this do that? Not so much. And there's another example that I've seen in some clips where it kind of has elevation problems if you're trying to follow up with the downswing on the ground.
I can see
Like
that.
there's legit a dude, and it's weird because it seems like it's got like a diagonal kind of rotation to it, so it should encompass that spot. It should be able to like just nail things pretty easily. But if you're
Mhm.
taking them head on from the front, you have a chance to whiff on certain suits.
I know last night after
And
you
it gets
raided,
kind of ugly.
Torres was saying he whiffed
Let me
me.
see if I can find a. There was a JP clip that I found of that happening the other day. I'm gonna scroll for a bit. You guys can keep going.
Well, but yeah, like right after you raided, Torres commented that the guy whiffed, didn't actually hit my shield. I thought he hit my shield because I was trying an MLRS against it, and I was like, oh, well, that's definitely a little bit different. But I guess the Gundam or the GBO2, I guess, is the priority ones that you compare it to. I mean, again, both of those have a shield, which personally I think is a pretty big deal. And, helping, prevent staggers, even if it's kind of small in comparison to, like the big boy shield. It's still something. And not having maneuver armor or anything, you can definitely feel that. Because the reason why I brought up the Gallus J is it has maneuver armor, but if you don't take advantage of that, it just feels bad. As soon as you dodge roll to avoid that stun that you got hit with, then it's like oof. And where it doesn't have
The
double.
interesting, funny thing that you bring up the Gallus J, because the punch on the Gallus J, the hitbox on that feels so generous sometimes when it comes to clearance that you might as well say that you're taking the damage from your foot instead of your fist.
Right?
And yet they make that exception, and maybe it's incidental, maybe it's not. But by comparison, the downswing on this feels like it covers more ground, and yet still can whiff on the ground. So that's kind of booty.
You think it's the same idea as when you like do a Gelgoog downswing and like your saber like goes over or through them, and you don't hit them at all, and you know Federation beam sabers just like have their whole like frontal like massive hitbox or whatever.
I would
Kinda same
think
thing.
that, except like
Here's my beam
I'm
saber.
looking at
Here's
it
my
here,
hitbox.
and it from the after images that they give for the blade, like the example, I put it in the chat by the way. But
Okay, here, let me get.
it looks like it should still hit, or at least that it should still have more of an after image on the front, and I think that's what it is. Is that like specifically at this point, even though it should, because it's going at like a diagonal up to the left kind of motion. In fact, it almost looks like it alternates depending on what side you're coming out from. Like if they make it go a bit lower, it'd be fine.
Yeah,
Pulling that up now.
that doesn't need to miss. They should definitely just make it a little bit bigger.
It just seems too thorough for it to miss. It's just weird.
Yeah, they might end up changing that at some point.
Here, let's see. I've
But
got
yeah,
it up now.
because like I'm pretty sure they buffed the hitbox at some point in time on the punch, right? Because like they made adjustments to the Gallus, I know for sure. So if they change that to make it a little bit more consistent, like they just need to do the same thing. I mean, the Gian stab can like assuming you're not on like the ever so slightest incline, the Gian downswing stabs can hit a target on the ground too. So I don't see why the little like slash that comes literally from the bottom shouldn't as
Yeah,
well.
the bottom up. Like that's so weird.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna have to fix that. That's exactly what happened to me when I was playing the MLRS. So that's why he missed. I was like, he hit my shield. Yes, my bridge door is OP. But okay.
It's just a whiff due to bad hitboxes.
Right. That, especially when you're going right at the target in that clip. Like the guy was kind of going more at my foot. So I could see a whiff call there. But like right at the dude, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, that makes it definitely makes it a little less desirable in that regard. You just kind of have to know what you need to do at that point. Maybe the intention is that you throw 30 kunais into their bunghole. Yeah, in that regard. Or like you guys are just playing it wrong.
Oh god, like they give us the gift
Intended.
treatment, like you guys are downswinging too much. No.
Yeah.
It's
like, why are you downswinging? You have a 6,000 plus damage like follow up.
Death by 1,000 kunai, nothing personal.
Yeah. You're actually a raid. What are you doing?
Oh no. Oh my. That would be hilarious. Like people complained about the hitbox, so we upped the hitbox, but we also nerfed the kunai damage. Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, you're just a Bawu against raid players. How the Bawu knocks you down and then unloads a volley on you. You just knock down raids and unload a volley on them.
No. It's all at once. Ah.
Yeah, it's
just
it's like
volley.
The blue equivalent of the Char's Dija.
Oof. I will say another thing, melee defense. I know that was a comment. So like on my Dovin Wolf, I've got plus 16. So like even on a suit, that you could once you get in range and shotgun it, I don't know, 26 melee defense isn't bad. So it's definitely got something that's got to try to hit a little bit more to do the damage on. So I feel like if the Dovin's able to hit you from ranged enough, you're going to be hurting by the time you get there. But again, it's more of an ambush suit. I don't know. It feels like a purple that you run around with the raid. Kind of like how the Dovin sticks with the support. That was a comment in the in my chat yesterday. Was that it feels like you could stick around with the raid and melee guard your raid, and then actually help them. Or like if there's a Dovin with a support, you and the raid go after both of those. You take the Dovin, he takes the support, and then you clean up the Dovin afterwards. That kind of thing. So I could see something like that working out. So at 550, what do we think for stuff that could outclass it? Pretty much we mentioned the GBO1, and at this point, personally, I think the Mark II with how they scale it kind of falls off by 600. But at 550, I still think is going strong. I would still use the level 4 Gundam, and I mean Dryson is just a Dryson, so.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And I think that where the Mark II comes in here is it's just got more just raw damage initially, like boom, you're just you beam and you melee, easy combo, very straightforward. There's no like you got to do a fan thing, and you got to do the single, then you crouch and like there's just straight up beam melee, and then it does have a shield, which always helps every now and then.
Yeah, but it's not getting blown up and stopping you in your charge. But I mean, if your shield was going to blow up and stop you, that stun that hits you is going to stop you too. Except for the few cases where you get your shield destroyed by like random scatter fire or something. That one's always big sad.
Oh yeah, for real. Oh, and see that's another thing too. You can also I feel like this thing is like the VG that has like proper priority as far as like it's a very good raid counter suit as well, having that 3 priority. So you either stick with your raid and kind of do some help like that, or you could just straight up counter the enemy's raid really hard. So
yeah, it definitely looks like it's in a good spot to be able to do a pretty good counter.
okay.
Yeah,
well,
that
I guess,
good payoff.
Oh yeah, for real though, right? So I guess what are our final thoughts on the suit?
Not what I was
These seems
expecting.
pretty nice.
Seems fine. Kind of still seems like bait. You should probably just wait.
Yep.
I'm down to wait for anniversary. Not a raid. I sleep.
Seems pretty.
Like, I'm still taking swings because I want these for content, but like, if you got limited funds and you just want a big suit, paint it.
Paint your DS like it. That's what I did for my
Oh,
suits. I viewed and painted like the Schneid for a little while.
Yeah, I think it's not bad, but like I thought it was a lot worse when I first saw it, just because the skills were like nothing, and I was like, this thing doesn't have a shield, no maneuver armor. What?
I think I need to give it maneuver armor. Like,
yeah, it definitely needs that.
That's a weird admission.
Or like an offense system. I don't know, maybe it doesn't need that exactly, but
it's like it makes sense with the Efreet not having it because of its lower level, but you're towing up with too many scary monsters in 550 and 600. You need some kind of maneuver armor, defensive style skill.
I mean, I think this I would agree with what I'm about to say, but would you guys say where it's at now? Obviously, tone down the health and stuff to an equivalent, but if this was at 400 with its current setup, you think it would be fine?
Yeah,
I think it'd definitely fare a lot better.
it just make more sense.
Or even
Like it
450.
feels like, even though we're
450,
talking about
500.
all these interesting combos and things that you have to do, it feels like if we're talking about specialty suits versus meta suits and like the viability of having this in like competitive and stuff, like if you're super specialized, sir, don't expect this to like carry though.
I think it could carry in 400, but maybe 450. I think is where the balance part would
Yeah,
be.
I'm just talking in like
Yeah,
context of where it
and
is right
where it
now.
is now, yeah. But it's kind of odd, especially when we get to the counterpart. Not knowing that was a counterpart, I was like, oh, that's cool, I guess. But
I just say
yeah.
that because they literally shared a scene together. That's not like canon or anything.
Does this thing completely wreck it though?
Yeah, I mean, because the counter happens. So.
Okay, yeah. So I mean,
That's
I
all
guess
reason to play the suit. You gotta flail around in front of somebody, and then teleport and stab their cockpit.
Okay, so I could, yeah, fair enough. I could see it then. But like I don't even remember this happening at all because I'm like, this was a thing. Like, okay.
I mean, like when we always talk about that fight in Unicorn, it's just so many of these suits that people are making these lists for like what's left to be brought into GBO2 are literally blink and you miss them
Right.
kind of moments. They're like
I
literal
got Smudge out on
seconds
my camera.
sometimes. Oh, actually, side note from my last match, we were pushing on Deserted City. I think my camera just went out, didn't it?
Yep.
It did,
Yeah,
yeah.
it sure did. I'm just gonna switch the source. But I got nailed by someone. We were trying to push on one of the corner points, and the guy that was with me, instead of holding the corner with me, got around, got out of his suit, and then went back in to try to cap the point that was next to us, and left me to cover him
Priorities,
while
my
like
dude.
3 different people. It was like, bruh, what the fuck?
Bruh.
So
I
of
had
course
something like that happen
I
in
go
Deserted
down.
City.
A couple seconds later, of course, he gets smushed, and then they take the point anyway. It's like, good fucking job.
Yeah. That happened to me in Deserted City. It was like me and one other guy, and there was like 3 guys like kind of like doing a building like skirting dance on us, and the guy like gets out of his suit to cap and like, what are you doing, man? They're right there. People have weird priorities sometimes.
But yeah, let's go ahead and hop into the rest of the patch notes. Get through that. So they have the normal suit for Doug Schneid again. Oh, camera, no.
No. We
Just
gotta
keep
rein
going.
in the goose.
So I was expecting another banner thing that they would do. This was kind of odd, but they just put in the Hama Hama and the Hyakushiki 700 cost. Shiki being a 2-star, where the Hama Hama is still a 3-star. I mean, cool. I was expecting more than just those 2 this week. I was expecting like another 5-suit banner, because they could definitely do that with how many suits we have. I'm just saying, like, I'm kind of surprised. Like, are they going to do a banner here? Like,
Well, that step up is still there, right?
yeah, it's still there. So I'm like, oh, well, are they going to continue these step-up banners, like, during the anniversary even? So I think I might have misunderstood that, because it was like,
It could be a case
it
because
seemed
like
like they
the
were going to do
wording made it
5.
sound like yeah, like so either maybe like when this one expires, if it's before anniversary starts, they'll do another one of more suits. And that might keep it to where like they can go ahead and introduce 700 cost, but they don't necessarily have to do like a lot of new suits. They can just kind of slowly do it over, like, oh, you want a 700, you better roll on our banner and get your EXS. So I don't know. They'll probably string it out if they don't do another like main banner suit. Because I think the fact that we didn't get a 700 this week might be a pretty good indication that they're waiting for anniversary. So we'll have to see.
But anyway, the so Hama
Man, Usopp's
Hyakushiki's
camera
in.
looks so nice. It's like he's green screened into his own room with like a really nice setup.
Oh wow, it does.
Yeah, I got the
Like
920.
he swapped over to that one, dude. I was tabbed doing the going through the patch notes.
Yeah.
That's pretty hype.
Like I was saying before, I need to try to tighten up the screws on that old phone because like the contact's just fucking up. That's why it's like trying to switch modes all the time.
Oh, GBO days. Next thing we got. Get
Yeah,
your
Gundam
free
Welfare
suit.
time.
Yeah, Gundam Welfare. Words time. Your free suit today. Hopefully it's not garbage. Hopefully it's something new. And if you're a new player, can recommend doing the 10 spin. Talked about the Efreet. In the ticket shop, we got the Hammurabi, and then level 4 of both the Unit 5 and the Unit 4, which they have BST on the text up here. They, for some reason, mess that up on the English translation every time. And also, they call them
Masterful.
Gundam 5th, Gundam 4th, which I don't think is technically incorrect, but yeah. So, Hammurabi, though. 300 and I think 70 tickets. What do you guys think?
I got it. I also had a lot of tickets though, so that was just an impulse buy. I think it still has chops at base cost. I mean, you're talking about a transformable that has a fair amount of munitions when it's transformed. Also has the better fitting rifle to mess with that gives us an extra bit of melee. The cable, which has pretty much become a staple for most suits that have it. And boost up the ass. Like you have to try pretty hard or be in a really bad spot to run out when you're in the middle of just clapping somebody. So I think it still has chops. It's got some rough competition nowadays, but it's still manageable.
Yeah, it's still a good suit. Rick Diaz 2, I play that a lot more over it now. The Vertex, of course, because it's, flashy thing. And the Gaplant buff was pretty cool. Been playing that a little bit. So, but overall, I mean, it's like the flying damage that you can do to somebody is actually really gross. Just with those the back beam rifles that it has or whatever. Like that's actually a decent chunk of damage. You can really, because that's like 400 times 2. Does it shoot at the same time, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of it. Definitely the original Violator. It was the scariest thing we had for 600 when it first released. But
And unlike the Violator, it actually has all of its priority. Then again, we have the space type now, so that's a little scary.
Yeah, I got that thing. I tried it today.
Dude, they're both scary. You have to make a trade off for all that power, though, man.
I will say
both the Nightseeker Vs are really good.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Well, I just got it yesterday. The space type, and so yeah, I got to try it today. And I played in 2 games. The first game, I was like, "What am I? Okay, the missiles, it's cool." And then, okay, got it. Sea serpent, my bad. Okay. Then the next game, I was
Space
like,
side does seem like it doesn't have the stealth or the jamming like the regular V does, but it feels just like a logical upgrade to the original. Like it doesn't have to worry about standing still for the rifle. It has the regular or the better one that you can fire on the move. It still has the cable. It can still cycle weapons when it needs to, while having to worry about intimacy a little bit less because it's not like literally dancing around a target until it's finally dead. You get like a couple good hits in on the way, maybe a heavy if you're being cheeky, and you pretty much just melt whatever you're nailing. Like you don't have the stealth, But you also don't have to worry about what happens next after people like turn around because you probably already killed the thing by then.
Does the normal Night Seeker V have a shield at all? It doesn't have a shield, right?
I think it does.
They both do. I'm pretty
Oh, they
sure.
both do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they share like
that's
a
really nice.
similar one. One might be like an upgraded version of the other. I think it takes the Jagan shield because of the missiles, which consecutive stuns on top of that. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
pretty
really
good too
nice.
to have on your in your back pocket.
I was up against a tank, an assault gun tank, and I was like, oh, why hello there. Come here, I've got some missiles.
No,
And they just
no,
insta
no,
fire. They're
no,
just like,
no.
and just
And
like,
it
so
just,
it's. I was just like, whoa,
I forget.
they're pretty quick too.
I don't remember if it actually is able to stagger those out either.
Yeah, you
Mostly
can.
because I just hold it down. Okay.
So I was like, I chased it, and then I was just like, boom, right in the back as it was just running away. He was just like, help, I'm getting away, please, please, let me make it. And I'm just like, and then I just went up, smacked him, dodged the Mark II that came at me, and I was just like, yeah, this thing's amazing, whoa, you know. So, after I started learning to do the heavy attack, I keep forgetting it has a heavy attack, and then once I started actually, adding that in every now and then, the sea serpent following up on people, they would stun somebody, then I'd just be like, take a knee. Hey, you have fun with that guy. I'm going after their support. See ya. Hey,
Yeah.
tank, what's up?
Heavy attack as always. Amazing for when you find those dog files. Right? You just charge that up, jump in there, and there you go. Just get some free damage.
But yeah, would you recommend, I guess, spending the tickets for the Humrabi though?
Uh,
I don't think so.
Because it's like
Unless
what
you,
was it, like 300 or something? Like I said, it was an impulse buy for me, but it's a lot.
Yeah, I'd say nowadays, if you have something else that is a bit more recent, you can definitely make do, or just yeah. But if you need something, it's definitely good. I could agree with that.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because like, oh, if you're new and you had that many tickets, but it's like if you have that many tickets, you've probably either been very unlucky or have some other things that are as good or better, and you just haven't given them a shot yet. So like, definitely go through your suit list before you do it.
yeah, I don't think it's terrible, but you're just live the usual raid pain life, and you're gonna be like ultimately squishy. That they try to help it out a little bit more recently, because like they did give it a little bit of love in that regard, but it's still a bit of a tough life. But it's got the kit for it. I mean, fading rifle is sexy as hell. It has the sea serpent. You can fly. Like you've got what you need. Just be careful.
Let's see. One thing I was going to point out, the ticket shop stuff. That's one thing I was going to bring up. So they've now caught up to where everything they're coming out with is literally 1 year old. The Hamrabi literally got released tomorrow last year.
Wow.
Nice.
So they're pretty much a year apart. Everything is. And then the
Did they
previous
catch
week
up or did
was
they
the
just fall that behind?
Ziroshiki. I don't, because I thought they were releasing things like, I'm pretty sure the MLRS came out, like, I was like, okay, well, the MLRS is like in 3 months before it actually, and then I finally got it because of that super banner. And then they put it in the ticket shop, like before the anniversary. And the MLRS I know came out after it. I was just like, oh, well, cool. But so they were releasing some stuff before a year. Now it's pretty much, so I'm like, do they fall behind, or is that just their new thing? Is it now just going to be one suit every 1 year ago because they fell behind, or maybe they did it so that it would line up like that? But either way, it is, because last week we had the Zero Shiki, and then literally each week we went back, and that was one thing that Pulsar was talking about in chat earlier. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So that means the Palace Athene probably won't be out till after the anniversary in the ticket shop, because it was 2 weeks after the anniversary when it hit. So that'll be interesting to see if they stick with that, because I've been talking about the Palace Athene every week. Like I'm saving my tickets. I'm saving them. So
Saving for years.
Oh
At
my
least
god.
on year 5.
hold
It's been at
hold
least 80
hold the
years.
tickets.
Battle Operation 4 is coming out. I'm holding these tickets.
Hell,
For the
I've
Palace
got
Athene.
these tickets. One day.
imagine if they just transitioned Battle Operation 2 into Next 2.
Yeah, it'll be Battle Operation 2 New Genesis. We talked about
Oh my
that
god, no!
No, that'll be the next game instead of 3. You know, they go to next 2.
You know what though? Like, depending on New Genesis success, I wouldn't be surprised if other people started trying to pull that. Not that they're the first ones to do it, but like it's a more recent example.
Yeah. But
See though.
so yeah, that's the ticket shop. So I'm assuming I can't remember what was next week's suit. Actually, I've got the website open, so I can just check real quick. So next week,
Was there a was like a actual timeline for when those things are coming out?
well, no, there's not a timeline, but what we should see,
Oh, okay.
since it is now, because the 2nd is when the Hammurabi got released, and today's the 1st of July. So
Oh, you're talking for RT. Okay.
yeah, RT shop. So I think I go to, wait, maybe it's this one. So yeah, we should have the Shoes Room Diaz next week in the ticket shop.
Yeah.
That
That'll
should
be
be
the
the next one that
test.
hits. Yep.
That'll be hype. I'm ready.
Because it was Zero Shiki. Well, I forget what we had
Mhm.
before that, but then it was Zero Shiki, then the Hammurabi, and we went back like 5 weeks, and they were literally the same order the past like 3 to 5 weeks, something like that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So looks like they're just following what's coming out, which I'm kind of okay with that. We can figure out what we're gonna get. That way people can save for their tickets if they're actually following a trend like this.
Mhm.
Because there for a while, I know they would just skip all over the place sometimes. So, but yeah, speaking of Shoes Room Diaz, the Rick Diaz is in the DP store. That's pretty hype.
Yeah, finally. Got to
Yeah.
move them along. Eventually.
Get that shrapnel bazooka if you don't have one somehow. It's good.
Yeah,
I like
that
it.
is a thing.
I'm a fan of that gun. That's how I play my Hyakushiki.
Oh my god.
I can't make the
Not my
shrapnel work,
Shiki.
man. Like, I my aim's already like rough as it is, but I get like good shots 2 out of like 100 times in a match when I shoot, or however many times I shoot. It's like
Yeah, I
all
gotta be able to
glancings and then
snapshot
one
and just
meaty.
go into the boot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rick Diaz is good. Can recommend. I see that it's a 3-star, so it probably is like ensign or higher now just to even get. So that's a bummer, but yeah, I could check that real quick. But yeah, moving on though, we can go ahead and start talking about the clan match suit, which is the GM2
boy.
Semi-Striker.
How exciting.
So I'm assuming it's gonna be what, just a GM, like you use the GM2 beam rifle. It probably has because it's a raid, 400 cost. Probably has a heavy attack with whatever sub weapon it's using, which might be the spear.
If it has a sub weapon.
Yeah, right.
If it has a heavy attack.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what I'm hoping they do with it. Maybe a heavy attack, because I mean we already have, that's the same cost for the Red Rider, right?
Yeah.
So like,
I would have just assumed that they would have put it in the
think it's 50 down.
descriptor. No,
Oh,
it
no,
starts
it is,
at 400.
okay.
It does start
Yeah,
at
you're
400 baseline.
so we've already got a heavy attack there. So I'm guessing. I guess I should say it like this: what I would like to see is the sub weapon having a heavy attack, whichever one that is. It would probably at least do striker things where you have the 2 melees, and
Yeah.
so it just kind of fixes the problem with the striker not being able to, stun easily,
It's
but you give up the shield.
Does
what it looks
regular
like.
striker have explosive reactive on it?
Yes, I believe so.
It does, yeah.
All right, so
It was
that's
the
not
first
unique to
suit to
this
get
one,
it.
but it still has it.
Yeah,
Oh,
there we go.
boy.
Yep, there it is.
No, I think
Also, hopefully that
one of
means
the
that
other
it has
ones was.
injectors.
Hopefully.
Okay, I had a brain fart. I was like, what was I looking up again? Why did I switch screens? But yeah, the Rick Diaz, by the way, is Ensign 1. So yeah, cool. It wasn't any higher. I really hope they don't start pushing suits too much higher than that.
The new Gundam's gonna be the new ranking at max level. They're not gonna put a banner out for it. You're gonna have to be max level to buy it from the DP store for 300 million DP. Yeah, it's pretty rough.
See, I was
You need
gonna be
one
like,
person who can
I
get it.
thought I was going high in my head. I was like, yeah, like 5 million deep, 300 million. Ah!
Above and beyond any possible expectation.
But they do mention the equipped with a beam rifle, so I'm assuming it's just the GM2 beam rifle.
Yeah.
It also has twin beam spears, and with the long reach to attack, unit can be designed or is specifically designed for melee combat. Yeah, words, and an explosive reactor. So
I figured they would have highlighted the heavy attacks, so I don't think that's gonna happen, which is unfortunate.
I mean, if it doesn't have a shield and I don't know, like that's just weird. If it, because there's a striker that can actually stun that just doesn't have.
But Magnum,
Much
it can already
protection.
stun. It's all amazing. But I get you. But we also can't discount the fact that like we've had shitty clan match suits before.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
That's true.
we've had some good ones. It doesn't mean
last
that they
one,
can't fuck
ooh.
up again.
Right?
This will be the one that literally we get like, okay, top 100 this week. It is now week 7. Okay, next suit, it's out on week 8.
Right? Like they're actually on time. Like, oh, people didn't like this one. Okay, actually, let's move this along now.
Move it along. Yeah, that's. Oh, that'll be pretty good.
It's just a bunch of Red Riders coming out to play and just beating shit. I'm like, what? What? You don't even have injectors, bitch! And just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what skills it would have and what stats it would have to kind of compensate for like not having a heavy attack and not having a shield.
Right.
Hopefully, it has body buffers at least, just because of
Maybe it has 2 melee. Well,
the like
except the Red Rider is 3.
I mean, the regular striker has 2.
But it's a semi-striker, so you gotta have less, right?
That's,
yeah,
it just has like
Well,
it
it's a
has
GM2, not
melee
just a GM.
melee combo 3 or something. It's got a 4th swing. Oh shit!
That'd be interesting. That would kind of suck though. What's the fall off? Would you like 15%
Right.
damage?
You're like smack, smack, smack. 1 damage.
The last
like,
one's just
and
for an
then
extra,
one
feudal
more
stun.
for you, Mr. Support.
Yeah, like they have somebody's
Eee.
like, he's like, yes, I have 1 health in their dream. Boop.
Ah!
Oh.
Curse you, Combo Controller 3.
Oh, that one time that would happen would be the hilarious thing ever. But yeah, any other thoughts about the semi-striker?
I don't have much really to add. All we can do is speculate until we see some gameplay, right?
Right.
Right. We'll see what happens when the top 3 get it.
Yep.
Yeah.
See
Oh,
if,
it literally has
hopefully,
the kit.
But
hopefully Kotaro gets it, because then we can see it on stream more than likely.
literally the GM2 beam rifle is literally what it's holding when I swapped over to the next screen at the where the reward
GCH, I'm
was.
rooting for you, damn it. Get that shit. I need
Hey,
to see it.
Do it,
sweat mode, go.
everybody! Super sweat, go! But also speaking of super sweat, top 100 can get Fire A orange. I saw this and I'm like, I just want this in green. Get Fire A
fire.
green. Looks pretty cool. But it's top 100, not all participants. And that will be this Saturday, 550 cost, 6v6 basic impact site.
Yo, can we talk about the fact that the next revealed match, like at the bottom, is another fucking 6v6 right after the 4v4 that's coming out the week after this one? Like, holy shit.
Yep.
They are
Team-based
really
gameplay.
busting. They are really busting like smaller clans' ass with this whole 6 count shit. Because like the last couple have been up to 6 too. Like Jesus. Like we're doing a bit better in that regard now, but there have been times where we've had to like skip several weeks just because we couldn't get enough. I'm sure that's the case for a lot of others too.
Yeah, we had missing a couple for the last 6v6 when I was up. I've missed the past couple myself. It was morning stuff. The one was vacation, but yeah. Though we got the green vine background or whatever. Woo! Let's go.
It counts. Give it to me.
So yeah. Also next week, I guess we can go ahead and mention that next Saturday. So this Saturday is another early one, but the next one after on the
Is it
10th
evening?
is late night. Let's go 4v4 450 simple. Though it's in space, resource
It's in
satellite.
fucking space. And it's also the second top 3.
Yeah, and it's also top 3. So, but if you participate, you at least get some kind of thing.
Something. I wonder what it will be, actually.
Yeah, that'll be cool to find out.
You know what I'm kind of got my fingers crossed for is eventually doing another operator acquisition. Hopefully they do one for anniversary. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Hopefully we get them more than once a year also. But
yeah, right. I feel like there's some easy. I mean, we say this every time, and
right.
I think we can go and just go into new suit speculation now with this.
Well, like the bigger thing now is that like with all this stuff for Extreme Versus, we have people like either replacing or reprising roles, right? For different characters. You're telling me that we can't pull a couple of these motherfuckers for at least some one-liners or pull the stuff from their net navi versions and fucking like Mbon or some shit.
Right.
And just
I don't
put
know
it in
why
here.
we don't have voice acted narrators from the show. Like you said, we talked about it before in the past. Like put it in the PlayStation store. Like
I'd
easy
buy it.
money.
Fuck, you want to talk about quick money?
Easy money.
BB
easy
doesn't believe
additions.
in good cosmetics and stuff like that. Like, oh, we can just reuse assets and get free money in our video game. Well, don't want to do that.
I mean,
unless the dev teams or the publishers that are working with those guys are just on a different like license or contract, and they're just like, well,
yeah,
you can try to get it too, BB, by yourselves, not with through our shit.
Yeah,
though at the same time they also
did
that collaboration with them bond. So,
but I like at that point though, because I obviously don't know anything about like how that stuff works, but like
the logistics,
they're all under the same umbrella, right? Like, how many hoops do you have to jump through to be able to use like? They have the Bandai Namco logo that shows up at the beginning. Like, who do we need to talk to? Like,
it's just bizarre because it feels like technically this should be the most consistent out of the games in terms of like turning out content next to maybe Gunpla Warfare, which, if we're being honest, mobile market is just easier to work with, even if it is a bit Wild Westy. So they definitely put a lot more of their effort there. Extreme Versus is pretty much just relegated to like arcades and private stuff when it comes to lobbies. And this game is kind of, even though they make bank off of it, like there's definitely some pretty intense whales in any gacha game, let alone this one.
For sure.
But it does seem kind of like it's the redheaded stepchild of the three.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. I mean, there could be some random, like they're just having a hard time getting what they want to get. Maybe they haven't somehow thought of it. And that could be a thing with just how they have, their mentality for
Yeah,
the way they
we
want to
gotta
run
push the
things.
next Dragon Ball fighting game or King of Soccer shit.
Yeah. So like, well, and then like on that end with Bamco too, like they could just, they'd be like, oh, well, you guys have to go ahead and put this promotion in your game. Go do that for us. Thank you.
We saw that with Hathaway. Everybody is like, you promote Hathaway's Flash right now. Log on to Dragon Ball Fighter Z. Hathaway's Flash. What the fuck is a Gundam? That's not. Is that Goku?
You know what? I would have actually been okay with that. With as many of those motherfuckers that come in and content
Twitter?
just saying, go, yeah, fuck it. Give
Where's my
them the
sword
Gundam
art
on their
update?
account. Just have them lose
Yeah,
their shit.
for
Like,
real.
what the fuck?
It's a Gundam. That's not Piccolo or Goku.
Oh, now you putting Gundam on my shit. Like, I don't care.
Oh,
It'll
that's
be
great.
coming up in these other posts then. Like, off. Wait your turn.
But yeah, it was crazy how they were just like, yeah, okay, now you guys got to put Hathaway's Flash back in the game because it got delayed, so put it back in. You have to.
That's kind of funny.
I feel like because they actually made a whole new they made a like
That
newsletter
photo booth
announcement
is
thing
still in there.
just so the
It's
photo
not
booth could
moved.
like what, like.
I remember it came in the middle of the night. We're like, "Oh man, we got more news this thing." Now it's just a fucking Hathaway's reminder. Like,
Yeah,
fuck.
it's a reminder. They even put a little symbol with the whatever name, whatever the yeah. And I'm just like, they did the thing. Are we getting a suit from it? What is it like? Oh
No,
man,
we thought we
New
were,
suits.
or at least a
Yeah,
model or
wasn't
something in the fucking.
model. Yeah.
oh train.
No, just got Zaku. That doesn't even make sense for that timeline, but you know.
Doggo's like what? What are you excited for? What are we upset?
Now.
What are we upset about?
Somehow you've heard the train through your headphones.
Oh, right.
Oh, just high five, high five,
No.
high five me. I don't got a treat. So. But yeah, so new suit stuff though, because I figured we'd get into this because it's just kind of also in general most speculation, and we always wish they would, do any more cosmetics for anything.
Pretty please.
I mean, my thing is if they just did more cosmetics, they could just get, a little easier, start throwing more suits in the ticket shop, start throwing more
For real.
suits in the DP store, start getting rid of the needing rankings so that people have to.
Well, the funny thing is that like if they did that, I feel like there's a certain amount of stigma, like internationally, when it comes to gacha games in general. But people still like to flex and throw money at games when it comes to cosmetics and shit. So I feel like, at least on an international market, like they probably would actually get people doing that pretty easy, easier than they probably think and are a bit afraid to do. That or their art department is really strained and just don't have time for things.
Yeah, maybe that, that could be another thing,
Because
like,
they're talking about them like constantly having to work on these weekly suits and like the assets for them, but like maybe they're just stretched thin. That's why I wish, like, oh my god, this is something of course we bring up a lot too. Is just the idea of like more insider stuff.
Yeah,
and like this transparency as to like what's the holdup with some of this shit, or like because the scheduling. I mean, Maniac likes to harp on it a lot more than we do about like the DP store and the RT shop and the fact that they're like way behind schedule and now they're like officially a year behind.
Yep. But like,
so
I mean, again, for the cosmetic thing, I know there was, like as far as flexing and stuff, some of the more recent free-to-play games, I know people, some games are getting flack for just, changing the color of like a gun or something and charging $40. That.
Hmm.
I mean, if it's a bad cosmetic, people are probably not gonna buy it. I mean, people will. Somebody will. But the thing is,
You know what though? Like
when it's something that's like
the ones that
120
we've gotten
bucks.
are pretty good.
Oh yeah. But like what I'm talking about, like in just other games where people are paying, $120 for like a actual decent cosmetic. I know some
Mm,
people jump on that, but I mean, I've seen those same people praise another game because they're not involved with like an EA or something else, and they're also charging $80 for one cosmetic,
yeah,
or have a essentially loot box cosmetic thing where it's just for cosmetics. And I'm kind of like, well, I know why you guys brought that up because that makes money, but that one's a little pushing that one for me a little bit, kind of thing with a couple of games that I play. And it's funny how there's like, I just wonder if it's would it be related to Bamco maybe, and they're afraid that it could be that why people would have some more backlash, or which one?
thing,
But
yeah. I think that's what it is in general. It's just more backlash, but it's like this is already under monetized compared to other gacha games and even games that they probably had their stuff on. Like we have the cosmetics for like the hairstylist, and that hasn't been touched since it was introduced. And granted, they did get roasted to hell and back, not only from us but through friendly letters from the JP side. But I
Friendly
don't
way to
know. They have a
tweets.
tendency to just have like really derelict concepts. Like ranked hasn't been touched for like a hot minute. We talk about that a lot.
oh yeah,
The cosmetics really haven't been touched at all since they were introduced. And I wonder if that's because they just don't have a different solution outside of like the tickets, so they just don't want to touch it, or if they're actually gonna. This is the thing: we're always having to over anticipate like things coming back or things changing when they do like anniversary or like some sort of overhaul. So it's very possible that we'll just get it all at once and have a bunch of overhaul stuff because they're just trying to do it in bigger batches
yeah.
instead of like spacing them out.
Well, that's
Or
like
it could just never happen.
with the enhancement stuff. I remember freaking out when I saw recycle tickets in the enhancement shop thing
Mhm.
next to those crates, and I'm like, please no. Please don't put stats behind recycle tickets, please. But especially since they seem to be scaling. Like if they come out with like a rank 7 and rank 8 where it's like 10% damage or something, you need recycle tickets for that, that would be like oof. But like um the other thing too, I mean I wouldn't mind just seeing them, like I said kind of before, just shifting it to where they're monetizing the cosmetics and then lessening the monetization of, getting people more suits uh, for the gameplay, because I like trying to do the free to play thing as much as possible when I get into one of these. And uh, yeah, I mean, while I say it's not, you can still compete. Um, you know, sometimes get that rough span of tokens where you've saved up 100, and you definitely want
And
this
get that
suit
weapon shot.
because it's the most OP suit and everybody's been bragging on it and it's the best thing ever. And you just go through your 120 tokens or whatever, and big oof. So yeah, I can when that frustration happens, that's yeah. But so anyway, new suit though, main thing for the new suit. What do we think? What do we think's coming out? And I'm gonna, while you guys start on this, I gotta go let the dog out because that's why he's like, man, I gotta go. Be right back.
Sounds good. So what do you think, Gustav?
Actually, I kind of spaced out. What's going on? I was still
Well, I think
wrapping up a match here.
no, I was at the tail end of mine too. You were supposed to have been paying attention, um, but I believe we were getting ready to talk about the new suit stuff.
Oh, just like speculation from the new stuff.
Yeah. Um, chat. You guys might have been paying attention if you weren't half asleep. Let us know if we're wrong while we're talking about that. I wasn't
No. I mean,
expecting.
I'm assuming just because we don't have
I don't know what
anything else,
expecting
but
more.
like,
Mhm.
yeah, I feel like I'm in the same boat for that.
What's the consensus so far?
It's just like when. Oh well, we haven't said anything. I was talking more about the hobby Hyzak during the stream the other day, and we have the more like Gundam literate in chat who are just like, oh yeah, the one for Short's counterattack, right? It's like you see, like
Yeah.
for me, when I first watched that, and anything that wasn't a main character suit, like there was New Gundam, there was Sazabi, all the other stuff, but like the grunt suits, like in anime, like especially the more like satire heavy ones, when like background characters are there and they don't have a face, or like if they do, it's like
Oh my
squiggles in
God.
a line. Like for me, grunt suits might as well have been like GM, like there's just a sticky note on its face that says not Gundam, GM or whatever, like Nemo GM, Jigen GM, GM cannon, GM with big gun on shoulder, like I don't
Right.
know, I don't care what those things are. They're
Oh,
the
no.
fodder suits, like they're just
Emblem
there to get
confirmed
killed by the main
for
characters.
real robot anime fraud. Oh God.
Oh
How
no!
did he not go into the deep development tree of every variant of every grunt
Yeah,
suit?
Gundam's cool
He
and all,
doesn't
but I
even
got
know
too
the
many
name
other
of
mechs.
people in
Just
special ops crews. Disgusting.
I know, man. I'm a fraud. But yeah, like all those mono eye suits, they were all Zaku's. I have a better idea now. But if you've been like, oh yeah, how'd you like to gear a Doga? You talk about the Zaku that shoots funnels, right?
Oh no.
Is that the one we're talking about, or whatever?
That being said, Jad Doga should be coming up pretty soon. I don't know if they're gonna
Yeah.
hold it for anniversary compared to other things, depending on how long they go for it once they like officially hit it.
Dude, I want that suit.
That's gonna
Which
be
one? A
hype.
hobby Hyzak?
No,
Nah,
well, I
Jag
want the
Doga.
custom. I want the one
The
Quest
custom.
has.
Custom's
Kick Quest
gonna be
out of it.
raid. Regular Doga's gonna be a general for sure.
Maybe the Kubalus of 700.
I'll hop in a normal suit, go up, yeet Quest out of the cockpit, and be like, mine. Here we go.
Get this child out of here.
This is my mobile suit now. Yes. Yeah, I feel like we're probably gonna get the Riga Z though. Is either, well, I don't know. That's technically CCA, isn't it?
Well, who cares though, right? The Jigen's out now, right? So
Well, yeah, but
I still think the Riga Z is going to be a event suit, but
yeah, that's still my guess
if,
for the event.
if they let the Efreet in to 550, 600, like the Riga Z should be fine in there too, right?
Right. Well,
Who let this guy? Who let this guy in here?
Yeah, I mean, we literally had Jigen and Dogas running around, which is interesting that they let them out that early. But I guess just because they were grunt suits. So let's see what happens.
yeah. So I'm
That's
curious.
why. That's why. Like, I feel like the idea of we just don't know anymore is like it's funny when we say it, but it's more relevant now than ever because it's just like you're really going back and forth between a lot of different things, and like technically, the Schneid or even the semi-striker chronologically probably existed before Unicorn, but they're being counted because of that battle. But really, they're not Unicorn era suits. They just had their sortier debut during that fight.
Well, and then two, the other thing is just like the clan suit wasn't even on the leaked list. This suit wasn't on the leaked list at all. So
Yeah, that's true.
Schneid was like, I'm gonna just slide in here. He just did the Schneid slide and no big deal.
Like, Barzam refined at this
Schneid
point is
slide.
pretty much just fan fiction. Like that's not coming anymore.
That was just poor photoshopping. Sorry, guys.
Dude, I want to make that banner so bad. I'm gonna just like grab the banners
That
and
just needs
make
to be a meme.
amalgamation.
Refined Barzam win.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I'm saying that
Frankenstein up one.
they're gonna do another general, and it'll be that next week. That's my real guess.
Oh
Other
my
than
God.
that, the usual.
Oh, we're just calling it. We're just calling it. Now.
Yeah, that's my pick.
Fuck it.
That's my main pick.
That's the O now. Definitely the refined Barzam next week for sure.
We'll have the O cannon.
What I still want to see is a slave wraith full armor. And
That'll be next clan suit.
The
Which have multiple versions
Masala.
of the O. The
Masala
O
something.
will be a general. The O cannon will be a support, and the OK will be a raid. And it's the worst of the three. But it's not bad. It's just okay.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boo.
Oh.
Boo! Boo!
Let's get the O2 and it'll just be massive and it'll be like, why isn't this just a boss fight?
I mean, I'd love to
Ugh.
see the Titania as well, but who knows? It's just the O with a coney, more coney or like head thing and gray and funnels and yeah, just get in there.
I want to see what the size of the Titania is. It looks fucking huge though. Tell you what.
It probably is. It's probably like as big as the Game Walk or something. Who knows?
I
But
mean, if
it's
that's
cool.
the case, then we got the game lock, so fuck it.
Yeah. I think it has biosensor as well. It has to, right? Funnels? Get in there.
Something like that.
Yeah, no, the second system and I feel generator.
Oh yeah, side community. There we go. Still down to give the Cubile a pressure attack, touchpad, pressure burst.
It still
knee
needs it.
stagger.
Also,
It
I'll
should
be okay
just
if
have
they do
like
that.
it should just have a kitted up version.
that'd be cool.
It'd be the Cubile heavy
Cubile
heavy arms.
What is this team I'm on right now?
So yeah, I guess that's pretty much all I've got for stuff. I can't think of anything else other than just start randomly saying the leaked list. You know, like
Right.
do we think
Just
it'll be?
rattle it off.
Do we think it'll be a support, raid, or general next week? I guess is a pretty good guess that we could have a 1 in 3 chance of getting.
It should probably be a support at this point.
I think it's support too, honestly.
Would we get a 450 support? Because I think next clan ranked is 450 space, right?
Mm.
I missed. That sucks.
Actually, the next two are really low cost-wise.
Yeah, the
sucks.
350 they seem to. When they put that in, they'll still come out with like a 600 for some reason. So
yeah,
but I can see
it's
them
just
coming out with a
Shuffle.
450. Thinking about that.
It's 450 juggler. Let's go.
Yes.
That'd be hilarious.
Fucking chorus. Get it.
But yeah.
You know what though?
I'm
That's
gonna say general
something.
again.
And I brought this up before. They need to, even if they're just shadow suits, if they're gonna keep having fucking rated matches go to like 200 and like in that lower range, we need to start dropping some extra variants down there.
Right.
Start varying that shit up. Otherwise, just get it out of rotation. You guys are killing me.
Sorry, we can't do that.
Oof. But yeah, you guys say support. I'm saying general. But now that I'm thinking about the 450 cost, I'm like, maybe support Slave Wraith full armor? Yes, please.
Why should be general specifically because you said that. It'd just be like a similar cost full armor ground.
No.
Just smaller.
No. Oh
and
no!
all it has is consecutive
oh,
stones.
No, that's exactly no. Oh man. Exactly what it's gonna do. Because really all the Slave Wraith is just the bad version of the
like
ground.
it's arm gun is literally like 2 fucking machine guns like smushed into a thing.
Yeah. That's funny.
And your box machine guns to boot.
But anything else with new suit stuff?
Yeah, space type Easy 8.
Oh my god.
That'll be the general.
That'd be cool.
I think he's on the ground, of course.
What was the high maneuver? Is it just the Hymo Easy 8?
Probably. Federation isn't known for dynamic names.
That's true. But it's the one that has like those like ski or like skids on the back of it and it's like stripped down. Some shit like that. It can be a Zoom Meme raid and just have like an even faster version of the downswing.
Wait, would it be called? Would it just be called Easy 8 Space Type or Easy 8 Intercept or something?
Oh my god, easy haters, that would be kind of cool. Raid full armor slave wraith, but with new level 2 blast resist. Oh my god.
Hey, let's go.
I'll take it.
This is a big tanky. You know what though? Like if they start doing more pseudo support stuff for raids, just giving them high stun resist and be like, nah, go out there, champ. It'll be fine. I wouldn't mind that.
Get him, bud.
You might get melted by like building wolves and shit still, but it'll be okay.
You should push this guy.
But yeah. Anything else?
No. I don't know, man. Like, I guess at this point,
I mean,
I kind of wish that they would have said what I was saying before, and then just had the whole month just be the anniversary because I'm getting tired of waiting.
Yeah, that's another thing.
They're just staying half cocked this whole time, and it's just I don't really know if it's to their benefit anymore.
I actually, yeah. We can mention that real quick. Have you seen how much complaining in chat have you seen? I've seen a couple people come through and be like, "What is it this week?" Okay, cool. I'm still sleeping. Still sleeping. I've been sleeping for way too long. Bonsai was kind of cool, but I'm still sleeping.
Yeah, Bonsai was like, "Oh man, it might be happening," and then like we get to this scene, it's like, "Nah, it's not happening."
So,
like, I appreciate variants. I think this is a neat suit. Do I think it's still kind of too high cost? Yes, but I appreciate that it exists in the game. I've been talking about the semi-striker for a hot fucking minute too, and I feel like it's more appropriately like set up in terms of cost and stuff. Kind of a shame that it's a clan suit. Don't know how well that's going to carry over compared to some of the other bangers we've had recently, but cool that it's a thing. Seeing some of the Japanese memes about like them shipping the two suits together because like, oh, they came in a pair essentially has been pretty fun.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I'm just saying, y'all, we over here in the English set need to get on our GBO2 memes a little bit more than more places other than just Reddit.
Right.
Y'all are slacking over on the Twitterverse.
But cool. So we don't have anything else. How about some shout out? Stop.
I like to shout.
Okie dokie. So Gustav _ X triple I, trying to keep up with all my social media. I have too many, pretty much everywhere. So look me up at that name, or at least some variant of it, depending on if I can actually get it or not. Still trying to do some Nier Replicant. It's been a little bit scuffed lately, but we've been getting through. I think we're currently on the ending C run, and I'll be doing D&E soon after. So we're getting there. I don't know how hard some of the newer stuff is going to be for like the final bosses and all that kind of shit, because it's a little long-winded, but it shouldn't be too bad. Then from there, depending on the performance, I might actually go on a hiatus for Nier and try to move on to something else, because at this point, considering all the stuff I had to mess around with just to get Replicant to run decently, and yet like the official patch like fucked some things, kind of just want to do them on console. I don't really trust ScreenX for their ports anymore, because I've heard other things about like Final Fantasy like 15 was pretty bad and some other things like that. So probably should have seen it coming. I have some other games in line if that ends up being the case, like officially, but we'll see when we get there. We still got a good ways to go. But what about you guys?
I'm GamingEmblem. You can find me streaming at twitch.tv/GamingEmblem, playing Battle Operation. Had a little bit of a hiatus, but I would like to get back into our normal schedule of doing like Super Robot Wars. We're still working on GC. I've been trying to play that before some of the other stuff comes out that I want to get to. Speaking of Super Robot Wars, in a couple of weeks on the 11th or 10 days on the 11th that SRW live stream is going to be happening. Ooh, can't wait.
Yo,
Get
SRW
some more
30.
info. Yeah.
Yo,
Let's
Bamco on Facebook for the English side posted a trailer for that. Is that actually coming stateside, like just straight up?
I doubt it. Usually whenever there's I'd love to see it. I'd be very hopeful.
Because it's not like they said anything about like now at your local Play Asia store or some shit. Like it just seemed like
they
straight
never
up,
do that.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just seemed like they were saying straight up that it was going to be like Switch and Steam. So it
Yeah,
might be
that's what they
another,
did for the last cycle of games. The Steam and stuff like that. Steam will probably be region locked. But I say probably Steam will be region locked, and
Yeah,
the
it will
English
be.
version of the game will be the Singapore version that you're gonna have to import or just download off of PSN with a Singapore account.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it was on the Facebook one, but then when I looked on Twitter, it was like, nah, they don't have anything for that. So yeah, it was probably just an offhand thing for the admin there.
Crossing my fingers, though.
It would be awesome. Like I'm right there with you. I would love to have.
So as far as I'm
main
concerned, that game
press
doesn't
release.
exist at that point. Like fuck it. I ain't
It's
picking
easy
that
to
shit
do.
up.
All of you guys at home, all you need to do if you want to download it is just go make an account for that region. If you're playing Battle Operation before like year 2, you did it to play it originally. You already have a Japanese one. Singapore's not hard. You can go on Play Asia, since we were talking about it, to get Singapore dollar PSN credits and get the games there. You can also just import if you want to. Those games are not region locked anymore, and it's same thing for the Switch. The Switch does not have region lock on SRW, and to my understanding, the
be a little
store
bit easier, all things considered.
it's a lot easier than it used to be. I'll say that much. At least you don't have to buy a Japanese console anymore. I still have my my PS3 is Japanese, and they didn't have region lock, but the Tells of Zillia one just looks fucking cool, and I had to have it. But
Nice.
I have a few old PlayStations that are not PlayStations, PS2s that are from Japan. You have to do all the it's been a while since I've had one. Like I don't have it anymore. It's at my parents' house, but I think I did like power conversions or some nonsense. But anyway,
Which Tales?
Huh?
Which Tales game was it?
Oh, Zillia. Zillia has a cool slim PS3 that has like art design with like Milla and Jude on it, and
Okay.
it's got some like red flary effects on it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
sometime.
we'll be playing Tales of Arise on the stream too. So come and check it out. Team No Pants / Team Tri Pants is recruiting. You can check it out. T3P / T capital T lowercase n capital P. Hit it up.
Cool. And as always, everybody's links and stuff will be down in the description below. But I'm EG Magnum. I stream on Twitch, got a Twitter, Discord, YouTube channel. I have an Instagram, and I'm willing to post on everything. And, I've also made other social medias now. I might have a TikTok that I haven't even looked at, but I've made an account. So yeah, gonna try to do content everywhere. And speaking of which, since I've been busy here recently, probably next week we'll go back on more of a full schedule. If not, hopefully the week after. Still catching up on things, but should be streaming tomorrow at least some Phantasy Star Online 2 and probably some Mech Warrior 5. Other than that, probably gonna be doing some Phantasy Star Online 2 or Mech Warrior 5 right after this. And then probably coming back on Monday, doing some more of the same. Probably some League here and there. Obviously, Gundam dailies just about every day that I can, even if it's on the weekend and I get like just 30 minutes to an hour, I'll go live just for that. And then, of course, the podcast on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then Banner Night on Wednesdays. So, other than that, I've got a few other games planned to try out to do stuff. And then when my new PC comes in, I'll hopefully have the studio in there set up, do even more content, and then be playing even better games. Like, Tarkov just got a reset. And I was like, maybe I could try this. So I logged on and I spent 3 years loading in, and
Oh.
then it was like, you have 1 minute to escape, and I'm like, that's impossible. So I just alt F4.
That's not happening.
Guess we're done for today.
So still need, for some reason, even with an SSD and everything, it still doesn't. I don't know whether it's just this setup or what, but it just won't work. But yeah. But anyway, like, comment, subscribe, all that. Let us know what you think down in the comments section below. But anyway, that'll be it for this one, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Peace.
Later.